So you guys brought up a really interesting point the other day where we talked about humans devolving from Saiyans, and essentially many of you commented that it would actually make a lot more logical sense for humans to have evolved from Tuffles. And to be completely honest with you, when you actually look at the humanoid-like Tuffle race itself, they look extremely similar to humans, to the point where if you were just watching Dragon Ball for the first time and you didn't know anything, you would actually think that Tuffles were actually humans. And the problem with this theory is essentially the mere fact that the timing simply just doesn't make any logical sense for humans to have evolved from Tuffles. When you consider the fact that evolution in itself is an extremely long process that takes a very, very long time to complete to literally become an entire race, you gotta remember that within King Vegeta's lifespan, the entire Tuffle race was completely wiped out. And the other issue with this is that we also have to remember that the Saiyans themselves, if you want to say that Saiyans and Tuffles and humans are all related, Saiyans were not natively on Planet Plant. They originally had their own version of Planet Sadala in Universe 7, which is what obviously Kaba and Caulifla and Kale live on in Dragon Ball Super. So, if we look at it from that perspective, then the Saiyans were native to another planet that came to live on Planet Plant, which was inhabited already. So when we factor in all of this, there was never any time for humans to evolve from Tuffles, because essentially it would have been impossible considering the fact that the time span between the Tuffles being wiped out and human beings already existing for a long period of time. And I mean, obviously if you look at Master Roshi and all of the humans that have been alive for hundreds of years, that obviously proves that humans have been around for a while. It doesn't make any sense for humans to directly evolve from Tuffles. But if you want to make an argument to that there was a common ancestor that humans, Tuffles, and Saiyans have, that would kind of make sense, but the problem is that you'd have to still find out a way for humans to have ended up on Earth. If the Tuffles had the technological means to travel to a planet like Earth. And this is really where this theory really came through. They somehow traveled to Earth many, many years ago, but see, then we start getting into other evolutionary issues, because if we assume that the humans on Earth are like the humans in real life, then we obviously evolved from a common ape ancestor, which wouldn't fully make sense. Which wouldn't really make sense if we're trying to make the argument that the Tuffles developed some type of space-traveling technology to go over to planet Earth. And for all of these reasons, this theory is clearly debunked, but I will say that it's definitely fun to talk about. Fun to talk about the fact that Tuffles were technologically superior enough to travel to other planets, which ultimately ended up on planet Earth. But if we start factoring in human evolution, that's where this theory is thrown out of the window just as well.